Welcome back to Mini Bricks. Today we're going to be reviewing this Creator 3-in-1 set 31154, the Red Fox. So this is the kind of the staging that it has on the box, so I thought I'd pose the fox in this way. So this is the Red Fox. I like to call him the Forest Fox because this set's called Forest Animals Red Fox. So I just like calling him the Forest Fox. He is very posable. I'm quite impressed with all of the, I guess, functionality that they were able to build into this model, but also how nice the tree is with just like using Lego, which is hard to maybe represent certain things. They did a really good job of like making the feature look as though that it has like some kind of that wood texturing. So I'm gonna maybe review that. Like, I suspect we should take the star of the show, which is the fox, first. So he has really good articulation in the head. So I know this might creep some people out, but that's just to give you kind of it's all on that one ball. It's just a small ball attachment there, so it has really good if you want him to kind of be looking behind him or whatever, you can really pose this guy almost any way that you want. So if you've watched the build video, I probably haven't loaded the build video, but when I get around to that, you'll see how it all kind of comes together. But yeah, so there's a neck. They were able to include a neck joint, so that's actually really helpful with posing. You can really make it more realistic. But yeah, one of my coolest features I didn't realize it was going to happen was the mouth. They were able to just put that little joint in there, and then the ears do go up, but I think it's kind of just meant to be off to the side like this, and well, the tail and the legs are probably the next one. So the tail has kind of that one, so you can kind of go back and forth, but it also has the rotation, so if you rotate it, you can then get the fox's tail to go high up in the air. And then this back part has just a ball joint, so you can turn it around, or it doesn't have a lot of turn, but it does give you that extra little bit to just kind of make it more realistic. Yeah, it would have been odd if it was just straight, so it was really nice that they could break that up and give it a little bit of extra bendability, I guess. The fox's tail is, when he's you can't curl it completely over or anything, but it is movable and posable enough to make it realistic. So in the picture, it does come with him kind of crouched down like this, but he does have the ability to, he has the kind of the hip joint there, but then his little leg here can actually bring him all the way up if you want. So I don't know exactly, I had him standing up pretty tall earlier. Let me see what that looks like. So yeah, you can also use the tail to kind of ground him if he is kind of lopsided. You can kind of like maybe use the tail to help, but I don't need to do that with this pose. So yeah, he's up on all fours. I do kind of want to show you the front feet too. I don't like to say too much, like I'm not really, like this is amazing that someone can build this, but just with all of the posability of this back leg, it does kind of highlight how maybe he doesn't have a little bend in his leg. I don't know where a fox's leg bends, but yeah, this part of the build is really straight and kind of, yeah, it just kind of stands out as being less articulate than some of the other joints. But I mean, you don't really need the front legs to do a lot. You can get it to stand up, and I mean, all four little feet can bend, so they got the little pads on the bottom of the feet, so that's kind of nice. And then they also have made good use of this piece here, just as a paw and some fur. So yeah, these little front feet are just kind of rigid, I guess, is one of the only things that I can see is maybe standing out as being a little, yeah, I don't know what, I would suspect that they could give it a bend, but maybe one of the reasons they didn't was because they kind of do need it to be stiff if he is kind of standing up. They don't want the joint to kind of give way. So yeah, if you had this up on the shelf for quite a while, you'd want it kind of more rigid, so it wasn't like putting pressure on the joints, and then he might fall over. But yeah, and if you were to put him in his like sitting position, he'd probably stay there for, I'm not going to say how many years, but he would sit. He could sit up there for a long time without falling over or anything, as long as he didn't get bumped or anything. Now I did want to kind of go over this back leg just to show kind of some of its. So it goes back to about there. It goes forward to about there, but this one joint here gives it a lot of extra, so you can really bring it quite a ways back, and I'll probably leave him in that position so that he's kind of sitting like he was. That seems to be, and I actually like to turn the tail a little bit like that. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have him on a shelf kind of more like this, so let's get him kind of set up for that. Yeah, he's probably going to be something like this on my shelf. So let's take a look at this tree. Now, the tree is maybe one of the other things that I might have a few things like as nice as the tree is. I think maybe Lego skimped a little bit on maybe adding a few more branches to this. I think if they were to add another section of 4 to, you know, maybe this middle section, it seems as though it's a little bare. You know, I wouldn't say that they'd have to fill this next level in, but yeah, I think if there was one more level, I mean, I don't think there would have been there would have been a lot of piece counts, because there's, well, I believe there was 4 of these green things, and then the clip, and the other 4-piece things to put in there. But yeah, I think that would have just filled this out and just kind of finished that tree off perfect. So I mean, that's an upgrade that anyone can do for themselves if they want. And I don't have these pieces, so I'm not going to be able to do that right away until maybe I can find some pieces to put in there. But you know, maybe do a review, like an upgrade, or kind of a video to show you the upgrade. But yeah, I don't have the pieces, so I'm gonna have to kind of wait for that. But yeah, the tree, I'll just kind of maybe rotate it. I don't have a little rotator yet, so we'll just do it that way. But yeah, it does give you one of the wood grain pieces that you kind of put in as a plug, and then, but you can also see how they've included some different coloring, so they've kind of made their own wood grain within the tree trunk. I don't quite know what this little thing is over here. It does kind of maybe seem like a little something. It's woodsy. I will give them that. It's kind of woodsy. I don't know what it's meant to be, but yeah, it's obviously snow-covered ground with a stump. But I also wanted to show off this side of the tree because they did do such a good job of this side of the tree on the box. It's posed like this, and I mean that does show off kind of like that tree that's maybe fallen over, and obviously not in the photo, but obviously because that would just be a bunch of extra parts, and yeah, that would be awesome to have a big tree kind of fallen over, but yeah, a lot of extra parts. Maybe we can do that in an upgrade build, but yeah, I just wanted to show this side of the stump because they did a very good job of this. I think it looks excellent. Like, I would have probably almost posed it like this in the woods, but I can see why maybe even like this on the box. I don't know what the best pose, but yeah, this kind of shows off the best of both. That might be a nice way if I have room on my shelf to pose it kind of more like this. You can see that little tree in the back, and this part and this part, so yeah, you get to kind of see all the best of. I think this is the best angle for this, so yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, which is all my little bits, but yeah, my main things are the legs here, rigid, but I understand why, and then maybe just that extra thing. That'd be my two things that I think that maybe they could have maybe thought about, but I'm not totally disappointed that these don't move, because obviously you can see he kind of does need just to be up and down, so it might have been a little hard to add those. And I do think that fox have kind of really slender legs, so that's nice that they represent that well. So yeah, this has kind of been a quick review, but I do want to show you kind of what this is going to look like on my shelf, so we'll go to that now. Alright, so this is probably the shelf that the fox will end up on. It's just a Billy bookshelf, and just kind of shows, yeah, it's nice to add a little Lego to your shelf. Now, when I go to close these, he's gonna kind of get, yeah, kind of boxed in there, but you can still kind of see him. And so, yeah, that's yeah, I just kind of want to show how this kind of Lego would be nice to have on your shelf. So just in my wrap up, I just wanted to kind of pose in the way that I would have kind of on my box. I like to show off that tree in that way and just have him kind of facing that way. So hopefully this has been a helpful video. If you're looking at getting this fox, stay tuned for my build video. That's going to take a little bit longer to edit, and so that might be another thing that you want to consider. Another thing that I wanted to point out, probably more, I'll talk about it maybe a little more in my build video, but as you can see, there is actually quite a few really good parts. So even if you get this as a part set, it would probably be useful for that. There's a lot of extra little bits that you can pick up in this set that you don't get, and I don't necessarily want to point those all out for you, but you can kind of see just by looking that it does have a lot of little parts that are nice to have. So thank you for watching, and bye for now.